¿A dónde nos vamos ahora?
Your sister can help us.
Ah, no, ya nos fuimos con Mira, loco.
Although just
Sí.
a handmaiden, she has Margaery Tyrell's favor. And Lady Margaery's betrothal to the king may be enough to keep the Boltons at bay. If it's presented to her as it should be.
Estamos en Desembarco del Rey. O King's Landing. Oh, ya me hacen jugar a mí, loco. Oh, mira el cojito. El cojito. Esta mierda. ¿De qué me sirve agarrar las cosas? Yo agarré vendajes y cosas raras con el otro. Vamos a agarrar toda la plata que haya.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos.
Esta tipa no sabe que se garcharon a toda su familia mientras ella está acá.
It was very kind of Lady Margaery to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Olenna.
Dios mío. ¿Qué dice la cartita del orto esta?
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Margaery has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Ah, vemos este pedazo de madera de
Even like this
mierda.
for me.
Un poco nostálgica la guachina. ¿Qué más tenemos? ¿Qué más tenemos? Tenemos un libro.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday.
Sí, lo vas a ver, sí, seguro. Segurito. Como si no se lo hubieran culeado por mi culpa.
King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Una mujer de muchas palabras, claramente. Ah, la carta, ¿esta es la que le mandamos recién?
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Margaery to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
¿Y ya se enteró de que se culearon a toda su familia entonces? ¿O no? Loco. ¿Sí o no? Ay, cómo mueve el bracito.
One moment.
¿Quién es?
Oh, sorry, milady. I
¿Qué es
didn't
esa
mean to
voz,
disturb
loco?
you. I can come back later if you'd like.
¿Qué pasó?
No, it's fine. Come in.
Pero tiene como 12 años y tiene voz de que tiene 40.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
Preferiría...
It's private. I'd rather not say.
preferiría
Of
no
course,
hablar de eso.
milady. I didn't mean to pry.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Margaery will be here any minute.
Of course, milady.
Da vuelta al balde, loco, y tira todo
You
adentro.
work for Lady Margaery? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Margaery just this morning, outside the Royal Sept, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
Cersei.
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was
¿Por qué me
definitely an
dices?
argument.
Why are you telling me this?
I heard them arguing about House Forrester and...
House Forrester?
Ok.
I thought you'd like to know. Forgive me if I was mistaken. I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. Most people don't tend to notice a callboy. Not in King's Landing with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, milady.
Pero tómatela una vez, loco. Y uno tras otro. ¡Eh!
Lady Margaery, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time
Pero
for us
ahora,
to
loco.
talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
A esta tipa, en la serie, técnicamente cae un poco bien. Parece una persona decente.
From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What
Suena
you've
más falso
suffered
que la
is beyond
mierda.
imagining.
You're very kind, my lady.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north
Todavía no-
whose family fought for Robb
Todavía no se
Stark.
casaron.
It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself
Obviamente.
cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor.
Opa.
She was very pleased with herself.
No soy un traidor, loco, yo
I'm
estoy
not
acá re
a
tranquilo.
traitor.
Of course not.
A veces
It's
la
only
familia
an
está mal de la
excuse
cabeza,
to
pero yo no tengo nada
torment
que ver.
you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some
Dios
sort.
mío,
For
todo
what
quiere la
I
misma
don't
mierda
know,
acá.
but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with
Haré lo que me
Cersei
digas,
with the
loco.
wedding so near.
Confío en esta
I'll do
tipa.
as you ask, my lady.
I knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear. See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Ay. ¡La cara! ¿Qué pasa, cara?
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel
Seguro.
one thing, but you must say another.
Suena a la persona más manipuladora que vi en mi vida, esta tipa.
Good
Pero
luck.
tiene un temple, digamos, el personaje en sí, que te hace pensar que es así de manipuladora. Señora Margaery. ¡No! Está Dios ahí, lo veo.
You can do this.
Tyrion, defendeme. Déjame acercarme. Ferir Aro, haceme el amor. Más tengo que comerme yo, de verdad. Acá podemos ver una puta y adiós.
Ah,
Dios mío,
Lady
se ve muy
Margaery,
raro.
aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Qué raro que
Lord
se ve Tyrion,
Tyrion.
loco.
Your Grace? With your
La forra
permission,
esta,
allow me
insoportable,
to
loco.
introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Agacharse, pero claramente, loco.
Your Grace.
Insoportable, insoportable, la mina esta, insoportable.
Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern
Si
house
no la mata
loyal
nunca, puede
to
matar a
the
todos
king.
los personajes decentes,
Are
pero
they?
esta no la mata
I
nunca.
beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is
Ah.
your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
Claramente esto no es cierto.
And yet,
No nos interesa a
for
nosotros.
centuries the
Jeffrey
Forresters have been
y
loyal
su puta
bannermen
madre
to
de
House
rey
Stark.
de mierda.
A house of traitors.
No son
They are
traidores.
noble, not traitors, Your Grace.
Noble, perhaps once, for a northern house, but now they're merely dead. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Absolutamente, absolutamente,
Yes, your
claramente, sí, claro, sí, campeón.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey, if it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my father. Old allegiances are not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Sí, seguro, segurito, seguro.
It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
Entrego el orto.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the wall? Our dear Margaery here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
She was just following her heart, Your Grace.
And the very same heart so quickly led
pues
her
escucha.
to my son.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts?
Puede dejar de
You're
dar
a girl
vuelta,
from the
hermana.
north here in service to Lady Margaery. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question.
No sé.
Go on.
I would be true to the king, Your Grace.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
Ok, el rey sobre todo, loco.
She
Me chupó un
is
huevo.
a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Ahora estoy despedida, claramente. Van a mandar a mierda. ¿Cómo anda Tyrion?
I'll walk you out.
Ah,
This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
gracias.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took
Mejor
courage.
personaje.
To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Margaery was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I did it for Lady Margaery.
Rather odd, if that's what she asked of you. But I'm sure she has your best interests at heart. My sister and I
Esas dos tipas tienen
have
una
our
guerra entre ellas.
differences.
Margaery y
She takes
Cersei.
great pleasure in her little charades. I
La
take
guerra de
mine in thwarting them.
Engaños y
We must
falsedades.
find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard. Not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Margaery might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are
Claramente.
you willing to risk that?
Y...
It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
Yo soy
You
una
are
pro,
a brave
carajo.
girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty.
Espero que nos
already.
volvamos a
I
ver.
hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Sí, claramente. Te lo dejan bien claro en la serie, son todas unas yeguas acá en este lugar. Bueno, todos en general. Y todas. Esta serie no entiende de sexo, esta gente... Hombre, mujer,
Mira,
da igual.
I was worried.
Deja,
How was
loco.
it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
Mm,
It didn't go very well.
no fue lo
I'm
mejor del
sorry.
mundo, pero bueno.
Cersei is known for being rather difficult. But at least it's over now.
Eso no rompe la bola.
Lady Margaery has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Sir Jaime, I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And
Pero le
over
falta
in
una mano, Gil.
Martell, the Red Viper.
Oh, no, ¿en serio?
I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife,
He is quite handsome.
and quite passionate. From what
Oh,
I've
de
heard.
Red Viper, pero Dios
Perhaps
mío,
Lady
Benny.
Margaery could make the right
personaje
introductions.
hijo de
Who
puta.
knows? We might meet our future husbands.
Personaje puto.
Although marrying
Ese personaje
a
me hizo
king,
sufrir
I can
demasiado.
only imagine what that would be like.
Ah. Espero no
Would you
tener que
marry
verlo,
Joffrey
loco.
if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him,
No quiero
and he's always
ser-
treated Lady Margaery well, which is more than you can say for his mother.
I'd be willing to marry, but not Joffrey.
Joffrey se la come, loco.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power
vas a
you'd
arrepentir.
have as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms.
Te arrepentirías,
I
hermano.
might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing?
Estamos haciendo boludeces, loco, tranquila. Esa tipa vino re
Well,
drogada. No estamos
We're
divirtiendo.
sorry, my lady. We were just having fun.
Estábamos re tranqui, loco, disculpame, loco.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira.
Ah.
I'm just glad it's over.
No.
King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Sí, sí, sí. Oh.
It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you say.
You learn very quickly.
Pone cara de...
You were brave
trola, de
agreeing to
trola
obey
pone
the
cara.
Boltons. That cannot have been easy. I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Vamos a pedirle ayuda.
I
Oh, soplé el
did
micrófono
have
como
a
un
favor
campeón.
to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
Claramente, lo puedo decir en frente de
It's
todo el mundo.
about my family.
I trust her.
Se puede quedar. Sera, pues confío en Sera.
Go on. Ask.
Mi madre necesita tu ayuda.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
Mentire.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks. And now you would have me ask him to intervene.
Pero no le diga
Is the
nada.
situation that dire?
You can't, my lady.
Cállate
King
la
Joffrey
boca.
won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa.
Te lo pido por favor, loco.
Please,
Lo
Lady
pido por
Margaery, I
favor.
beg of you. I fear for my family's safety.
Cállate la boca, Sera. Siempre cagándola, loco.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
No le temas a Cersei. No le temas a
Don't let
Cersei.
the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Margaery, as no
No
one
temas que
else
te haga
does.
bullying.
Not even his mother.
Si no te mata el rey, loco.
Ramsay Snow will
El
arrive
rey.
at Ironrath
El
within a week.
reycito.
I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Pero mírala.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady.
Ah,
will send a raven to my family at
la mejor
once.
persona. La mejor futura princesa del mundo, futura reina. Princesa, pelotudo. ¿Dónde nos vamos ahora? Volvemos con el guachín. Dios mío, parece...
Seven hells.
Let's play
Me
a
gusta
game,
mirar.
shall we? Did you know my ancestors wore the skins
Ese
of their
tipo es-
enemies as a coat?
Ok, gente, vamos a dejar el capítulo hasta ahí. Creo que sé quién estaba del otro lado recién. Ahí... Bastante mal de la cabeza el tipo que tenemos enfrente. Ya saben, suscríbanse al canal porque me gusta el Facebook, comenten, recuerden la página y nos veremos en la próxima edición de Juego de Tronos. Que me está gustando. Es un juego, tiene menos acción que The Walking Dead, tiene más palabrería. Pero así es la serie, la verdad. Y si son fanáticos de la serie, realmente les recomiendo que lo vean. Si no, no les recomiendo que sigan la serie demasiado. Nos vemos, gente. Hasta la próxima. Adiós.